Hardware. So let's look at the hardware setup for this, and then we'll look at the code in the next video. The hardware goes as follows. I will need pin 13 on the Arduino. Pin 13 already has a resistor on it. That's why I'm using it. The white wire is pin 3. It's a pulse width modulation pin. And that's very important because we need to pulse that at 38 kilohertz. Also, pin 2, which is just a digital on-off. This one's going to be running to my LED. This is going to be running to my receiver. This is an output. This is an input. I'm also going to need a positive and negative, so I'm using the black and red. 5 volt for the red, ground for black. Okay, let's look at the wiring on the breadboard side of things. Okay, let me remove the Cerebrus cord here. Okay, perfect. So this is what I have. I have pin 13 here. Doesn't really matter where you put that. And that one's an easy connection for the LED. So it will go into the ground and then into the same rail as the yellow. Okay, perfect. And that it lights up everything so I can show you the other ones. Now my receiver is this. It has 2 pins on this side. That's my positive and negative. Pin 1 here is positive, 2 is negative, 3 is my data out, data in pin. Okay? Or data in, sorry. Now, you should know that if you go out to the website for SparkFun and choose to use their variation of the receiver, their variation receiver is positive, negative, and then the out pin is, or in pin is this, the middle one. Okay, just know the difference, because I would definitely check the data sheet. Always check the data sheet, always. So in my case, I'm going to run it just like a kind of a tripod, and I like stability for these. It's very important to know that if you're using these for sensors on any kind of robot, that they should never bounce around. So later on I'll build a better rig. Right now this is just my test setup for this. I probably won't be using a breadboard for that. Okay, perfect. Now, to assemble the IR LED, you go like this. You take a piece of heat shrink tubing, you cut it off very nicely on both sides. Then you slip it over the LED just enough so it covers a little bit of the pins, and then you heat shrink only this side. It'll look a lot like this when done. Notice I used 2 different variations of heat shrink. I used a 1/4 inch and 3/8 on this. You can do it that way also, or just use 3/8 and heat shrink it out on the back side. My white is the positive. I'm going to set this on the rail right next to it on the white wire. So I got ground going in, and then on this side I got this wire running to the next rail. That's where my resistor comes in. Still not revealing what that resistor is because I want you to start using Ohm's law. And there we go. Now this should be higher than this. That's very important. And you can always test it out with a thick or thin object. For me, I already got the code on there. For you, we have to write the code. So just do. Yeah. So you're going to have to do some fine tuning anyway after the fact. So in the next video, let's look at the code. Right now, that's how you build a basic IR receiver and LED sensor. Enjoy.